Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome back to more iRacing. Yes, today we're here in the F4 car back at the Nürburgring. Now for this one, I'm trying something a little bit different. I've had a couple of F4 races, or attempted to do a couple of F4 races this week. They haven't gone well, so I have found a secret inside the sim to getting good results. Start from the back of the field. This race has everything. Carnage on lap 1. It actually now has got someone that will hopefully get banned from the iRacing platform as well, as you'll see in the incident report, because he intentionally wrecked like 2 or 3 other people's races come the very end. I don't really know what's happened to the sim in recent years, but it seems to be becoming quite a toxic place, to be completely honest. But for us, though, this was a really good fun one. Kept it clean, kept it tidy, had a lot of good battles throughout. So grab yourself a drink, grab yourself some popcorn, enjoy this one, because yeah, I don't really know what's going on inside iRacing right now. Make sure you get yourself subscribed as well. Before I forget, we're trying to hit 2k subs on the channel. But yeah, without further ado, though, let's head down to the grid. Well, here we are then, down on the grid, ready back at the Nürburgring.
We're doing well to be in the top 14. We've got cold tyres, we need to get some heat into them.
Well, there we go. Crew Chief clearly thinks I can only gain about 2 spots in this race, but let's see what we can do.
Start. Here we go. Go.
Lights out, and away we go then for 15 minutes here. Looking forward to this one. I'm hoping we can just stay out of trouble and get a good race under my belt. I've tried to already do a couple of F4 races this week, and in both of them I've been completely taken out by people doing stupid things. Seems to be a bit of chaos. Oh, there you go, down at turn 1. So we will just take a very wide berth, and we will get around most of it. Someone's not happy. There's another car gone through the next corner. Oh, and another one's gone spinning because he's got no wing and almost wipes us out as well. Thank goodness we gave him quite a wide berth there, so immediately then, I think already we're higher up in this race than Crew Chief ever expected me to get. And I believe this group is pretty much immediately the battle for the top 10 as well. So there might still be some quick guys behind me. This is technically a top split race. I mean, it's a 2.2k SOF, which isn't bad going for Formula 4 standards. You know, nice and early on a Wednesday morning. I assume most people are trying to get in more practice for the week ahead as well, of course. I want to do more F4 content on the channel. I do enjoy these races when, you know, when they run smoothly, they are very, very good fun. Maybe next season I could try and do like the ultimate F4 challenge of doing like all 48 races or something like that. I think that would be quite hilarious. See how much iRacing I gain, how many instant points we rack up, and everything like that. Maybe it could be a fun challenge over the course of, yeah, next season there. But we've made it through lap 1 and we haven't even picked up an instant point then. Are we inside the top 10? Are we going to have a lot of incidents to look back through? Yes, we are. I thought we might have gained like 5 places maximum. I wasn't expecting to gain 8 on that opening lap, so I must have missed even more of the chaos then down at those first couple of corners. So this is technically then a battle for 6th in this race, which I would certainly not complain about if we were able to get to the front of this group. 2 of them, though, do have a bit more iRacing than me. It's just Ivan in the middle, who is at 1.6k there as well, picking up our first 1x of the day. Track limits here are fairly kind of aggressive. I wouldn't say they're ridiculous or anything like that. Oh, just see there, Pavel making a little bit of an error, and that might mean his tyres are a bit cooked. Ready for the next couple of corners as well, as he's all over the show.
Keep it between the white lines.
Let's see if we can try and get a good run out onto the back straight then. Not quite able to do anything with as much impact as I was hoping for, but you know, I've been doing pretty well just up in front then, as I mean, the slipstream in these things does work pretty well.
Watch out.
We've got yellows out just in front, so I had never really any intention of trying to go for that move on Powell, but we might be able to make it now off the corner, as immediately again he's going to try and cut to the inside. Try and go for a slow in, fast out through the final couple of corners. Maybe now we can try and get a run on him out of the final corner. It's up to 8th place then. So this battle in front could be for a top 5 in this race. Let's see if once again he's going to try and swing. I mean, that's a little bit late, mate. It's a little bit ridiculous trying to go that late on the brakes, as I wanted to try and potentially have a look down the inside on the exit of turn 1 there, but won't quite be able to make that happen. As can we go the long way around turn 3? Definitely not. Might be able to get the run though down the hill. So again, that turn around, we've
Right
just
side's
about
clear.
muscled our way there, and there we go.
Yellow flag.
Up then into 6th place as we got another spinner.
Good move,
Someone
mate.
else there in front seems to have gone off the road. That's a lapped car though. So
The
not
driver in
going
front
to
of
help
us
us
is
out at all.
Rodriguez, car number 15, C license, and their rating is
Trying to leave it in
1.6.
3rd gear down through that hairpin. It seems to work quite well. We should get 11 laps out of this race, but obviously, yeah, Powell very, very aggressive with his defensive driving. Will he be as aggressive with his willingness to go for overtakes there? He's got a very, very good run off of that corner, so I'm going to force him
Car right.
obviously inside through the kink, but then it'll be the
Hold your
outside line up in towards the chicane. I think
Hold
he
your
might
line.
just about get the run on me anyway.
Clear right.
So
On your right.
just
Clear
back
right.
out of
Come on,
it
don't let him
in
get away.
towards the chicane, and again try to do the old switch on the exit of the corner there. I'm happy if he wants to obviously try and commit defensive on the brakes. As long as we can get the run
This
off
new
of the
fastest
corners,
lap
I'm
for
really not too
Jess,
worried.
127.3.
We will hopefully
Car
be
right.
a little bit more of the patient one
He's
in
still
this
there.
scenario, as hopefully we're going to get a nice run again back down in
Still there.
towards turn 1. But of course this is just giving
Still
Ivan a big opportunity to try and
Still
run
there.
away.
Clear right. Your lap time was
Slot the rears up slightly.
129.8.
Just got to be careful. Yeah, we seem to be able to get a good run through. I think we are ever so slightly quicker around most
10
of the
minutes
lap.
remaining. 10 minutes.
Seem to be able to get the car placed a little bit more where we want it. I think he's trying to attack a bit more on corner entry, and we're a bit more focused on corner exit. So that can be, a good recipe for some good racing, but also a bit of a recipe for disaster if there's a bit of a miscommunication between us or anything like that. So you can see he just gets very, very squirrely
Left
off the
side, clear
corner.
left.
I mean, he's
The guy
taking
in
a
front
lot of
is
curb in a
Powell,
lot of
car
places,
number
though. I'm
7,
surprised.
A license, and their rating is 2.3.
But he does seem to be able to get a decent run off of the corners as well. He's got a little bit more confidence to carry the speed off of the turns. I think again then, I'm going to try and see if we can force him to the inside, up in towards the chicane. So he's really trying to make that car a bit wider now. I think he's sussed out kind of my plan of attack. Let's just see it. I mean, look at that. You barely show the nose to the inside, and he's immediately jumping to defend it, which is quite funny. I don't know whether he just thinks I'm going to drive like he drives, but yeah, that is hilarious just how defensive he wants to go. Let's just see what we can do
So far.
to try and make him
Car left.
go defensive. Look at that. We get to the inside and he's still
Hold
trying
your
to
line.
move over on me, which is quite funny.
Still there. Clear left.
So there we go. We'll make it through.
That's the stuff. We'll have some more of that.
I wasn't actually trying to go for that move. I just didn't think I honestly thought he was going to cover me off slightly earlier. He left himself vulnerable there, which is quite a funny one, to be completely honest. But so I think we have got a little bit more speed over him, so we'll see if we can try and close down Ivan just in front. But I mean, even P7 in this race, I would be very, very happy with. So he seems to want to try and go a little bit later on the brakes there, but now just opening up a little bit of a gap. But that's just one of those moments, I think, where you've got to try and work out
The next
kind of
car is
why
Rodriguez,
is someone going
car number
so
15,
aggressively
C
defensive
license, and their
into
rating
every
is
corner.
1.6.
So you just see him kicking up some dust as well behind me, so I think, yeah, hopefully now we're going to be able to try and pull away just a little bit, as long as I don't do anything stupid. But yeah, how can you take someone else's aggression and kind of use them against themselves? That's kind of the big key in these kind of shorter Formula Star races, because obviously if you can get ahead and if you can get away, like we have done, then they can't really do a lot else about it, and of course then we'll probably end up falling into the clutches of the driver behind as well. That lap's not going to be a particularly... Oh, 28.1, that's not bad going. So when a tenth quicker than Ivan just in front. Obviously that included that very, very aggressive move down in that first corner, so I'm hoping we're going to have the speed to try and close in a little bit more, but
Behind is now
I'm sure the
0.8.
incident report once again... Maybe I've just got to start all my Formula 4 races from the back of the pack and just kind of see what happens. Maybe if I try and do that ultimate F4 challenge. So, well, the Powell's gone. No idea what he did there. I'm sure we'll take a look at it after the race. Don't think he's taken himself out of it. But just a small little error there. Because I actually spent quite a lot of time in practice for this one, trying to figure out the brake bias. Just obviously where this circuit, there are quite a few quite cambered corners, and quite a variety in terms of braking zones as well. Trying to learn kind of how much bias you want, where you want it, is really, really important. I always find the iRacing, obviously these are all fixed setup series, but I always find kind of iRacing defaults to a very, very aggressive front end preset. You know, super easy to lock the fronts up. I normally bring it down by at least 1%, but sometimes like 2, maybe even 3, if I'm feeling quite confident with it. So a little bit of a wobble there through the final corner. That'll cost us.
The gap in front is now 3.0 seconds.
Yeah, that lap only a 28.6 there, so we lose a little bit of time to Ivan just in front of me again. But 3 seconds either way now. But yeah, obviously you don't want too much of a front brake bias in towards that first corner, especially as the track begins to fall away from you. And down at the hairpin as well, of course, that cuts off the part of the GP layout. So, I mean, it's a little bit more tricky down here, just because obviously the back end does want to rotate around. But, of course, if you can manage that, you can really make quite the impact as well, and obviously take a little bit more time out of your rivals. I'm just so intrigued to see what happened early on. And, like, did I just not see a couple of cars get involved in the incidents? Was there another incident I just completely missed? Because, like I said, I don't believe I saw enough cars to kind of make the overtakes that we did. There's apparently a lot of gravel flicked up through here. High risk, high reward through there. You can really get on the throttle quite early.
5 minutes remaining, 5 minutes left.
Yeah, you can really get on that throttle very, very early through there, but it can cost you, of course, if you nudge the gravel. Trying to just break away a little bit later into here. But again, don't want to do anything stupid. We've had a pretty good race up to this point. 10 places gained. I would not complain about come the end of this one. It's that final corner as well. I feel like I want to get on the throttle a little bit earlier than you sensibly can. But Ivan's pace seems to be pretty good. We're not nailing it at the moment. So we just, again, lose another half a tenth that time round. So I don't think we're much slower. But it seems like, yeah, we're pretty evenly paced, as you can see there, looking at the fronts. And of course, we all know on iRacing, if you look at the front wheels, how little grip you've got for how long. So, yeah, it is a tricky, tricky balance. I'm kind of trying to play it a little bit safe in that sense, but obviously quite risky. You know, you can lock up the rears and have a moment.
Gone out of track limits. Keep it between the lines.
That's the other one I'm really struggling with. Turn 4, I keep accidentally cutting the inside. Obviously trying to maximise the width of the circuit. So got to be really, really careful with that. But I'll be honest at the moment then, we're just kind of poodling around by ourselves. I might just fast forward to the end if we end up with nothing else.
One more lap to go. That was 129.0.
Oh, down in turn 1, we've got chaos. What on earth has happened? One more lap to go with this race, and I think we've picked up another couple of spots then, as there seems to have been something gone on between Min and Andrew there. So Ivan now is almost up into the podium places. As is ZQ going to have some damage? I have to take a look as to what on earth happened there, because that was seemingly out of nowhere down in turn 1. I can see a lapped car might have been involved with it as well. But like I said, we'll refrain from any judgment until I get past the checkered flag. Are we going to be able to get one more spot, though, on this last lap? Min seems to be really, really struggling. So that's a 1x, apparently. The more you know, I guess.
Keep it within the track limits.
Yeah, definitely damage on that rear wing.
Incident points.
Come on, we've got to try and get a run on him then as we make our way down in towards the final chicane. But look at that, he's trying to go very, very aggressive to break the toe. Still should be able to get a nice slipstream run on him though, as we try and have a look to the outside. I'm sure he's going to try and outbrake me into the chicane. So we will try and go for the slow in, fast out approach then. Is that going to work for me? He's going to really try and swing defensive, as we will again pick up another 1x in towards those final couple of corners. The 8 car gets a little bit of a moment. It's going to be a drag race back towards the line. Can we have him? I think we just about will, as he's going to try and rub and race me back towards the line. But P5
Good result, mate. Well done.
in the end. 17 places gained in that race. It all suddenly got a bit dramatic right at the very end. Anyway, let's head back to the pit lane. We'll take a look through our incident report and then, of course, our final race results. Let's take a look then as to what went down at turn 1. You can see riding on board with the Momo car. Oh, that's a little bit unlucky. And 1, 2, 3, maybe even... Oh, there's 4, 5 involved. And then another one has gone spinning up at turn 2. Let's take a look at this from some other angles. Just see what we can try to piece together. I think, honestly, the first part looked like a little bit of a racing incident. I think the 17 was optimistic. And then, yeah, just so many more cars involved than I ever originally realised. Luckily, of course, yeah, like I said, we just jumped to the outside line and tried to avoid all of it. And there goes the number 9 car straight into the wall as well. So, I don't quite know what happened there. Just seemed to be... Let's take a look. Don't know if they picked out... yeah, so someone's moved across him. I think he's a bit upset with there. I mean, it's that horrible thing, like the transition between turn 1 and turn 2 here. Obviously, you're trying to open up the run left and then right. And, yeah, unfortunately, just a bit of a miscommunication. And that guy felt the brunt of that one. This was, again, the number 13 there going for a big spin, not holding his brake, almost took us out. Weird to think how different our race could have gone had that worked out. What else went on then? Early on, 17, just a little bit of a typical Formula 4 spin. And, yeah, we'll roll the car out of the way, luckily. This was power behind me then, so, yeah, just again, far too optimistic. If you use the outside curb on the entry to turn 3 there, it can really, really upset the balance. So it was something I was trying to avoid doing throughout a lot of that race as well. Then we've got another one going on between the 3... and I believe this is the 17 car. Again, just a bit of rubbing his racing. Not what you want to be doing in a Formula 4 car, but nothing too malicious there. And then we've got Powell again. Just gets over that inside curb. And again, we'll go for another lazy half spin. And just about not get collected. This, I think, is right at the end then. So this was an intentional wreck by the guy that was a lap down. Now, I've pieced this back up together. Obviously, these were the two that were involved in the accident on lap 1. But, I mean, if you take a look at this from, I believe it was Wentow's POV, he's like I say, he's obviously taking his fast repair. He's not happy. So one of them's gone to his outside, one of them's gone to his inside. He's tried to cover him off, and he's just gone for him. So I'm going to protest it. I'm sure other people are going to protest it as well. It's not what you want to see on iRacing. But for whatever reason, seems to be becoming a lot more common at the moment. But completely on this guy. And yeah, he will be reported. So before we go to our final race results, though, this is even more interesting. So obviously he wasn't happy about that incident on turn 2. But has basically come around just saying it'll at most be a 1-week ban. So I'm kind of hoping somebody from iRacing takes a look at this and obviously bans him. But of course, he's clearly only done it because he thinks he'll only get banned for a week. It's those kind of people on the sim that deserve to be banned for longer than that, whether it's a month, whether it's permanent. But he reckons he's not going to drive in the next month anyway, so like a 1-month ban won't even do anything. So iRacing, I really, really hope you just ban him outright, because people like this shouldn't be on the platform. He doesn't care. Well, taking a look then at our final race results, minus 0.47 SR. I think I've been a little bit unlucky there. We did get 5 instant points in the end, which was not ideal. But I feel like we deserved, you know, not to lose that much iRacing, but I guess obviously we're right on the cusp of like B and A, so it will kind of move around quite a lot. 60 iRacing though, I'm very, very happy with, and I think we did gain the most places of anybody in that race. Top 2 finished exactly where they started. Jesse takes the win ahead of Sabadi. You can see they were fairly close on pace, but yeah, Jesse just had a little bit more in the back pocket. Thomas finished in P3 there, just ahead of Ivan and myself. ZQ obviously in 6th. There was 2/100ths of a second between us come the checkered flag, with Andrew, Austin, and Mattis rounding out your top 9 there. Powell still came through for P10 after a bit of a chaotic one for him. Thank you all so much for watching, though. I hope Wentau never sees another race on the iRacing sim as well. But yeah, we'll be back very soon, hopefully, with some more iRacing content.